Hello and welcome to the channel. I wanted to do what I call a noob first impression review of Story of Seasons Pioneers of Olive Town. And we're going to go right from the beginning, from the dash of the Switch to actually loading up the game. This is all going to be a part of the showcase. On my channel, this is what I do with video games. I don't really know how to do game reviews. I feel like you have to play the whole game to know all the ins and outs to be able to give a precise, non-convoluted ramble about a game. I'm just not good at that because of the way my brain is. I have terrible ADHD. But I still wanted to share with you my thoughts as to what I thought of the game, with me having played it for a couple of hours now. And I am very happy with the game. I think the loading times are fine. I think a lot of the things that people were stressing out over have been addressed with that 1.03 update that had recently come out about a week ago. That made it apparently unbearable for some people that were still on the Eastern Asian version of the game. When you leave your farm or you're transitioning from one screen to the next, apparently the load times were really, really bad. You can see here firsthand, to me, this really wasn't all that bad. So one of the first things that I really enjoy about the game, and this is of course going to be subjective, apart from how it looks, is the fact that you can sort of a little bit with your right analog stick, you can kind of move around a little bit. If you push down, you also have 3 levels of zoom. How often do games offer that? I wish a game like Diablo 3 would offer that, but it doesn't, except for, I believe, on PC, for like that isometric bird's eye view. So that's one of the things I like right there, just how easy it is to switch in between all your tools, up and down, left and right. Sometimes some games aren't as friendly when it comes to that. The fact that there's just so much to do. You can have little automatic sprinklers like this. Your leaves and your plants and all that, they're animated. There's a lot of birds. You don't like where this mushroom log is, you can just pick it up and place it somewhere else. When you're first given this map here, you have your chicken coop, for example. You can bring out your pets. It's very nice. They come out, you can pet them, you can interact with them. They'll hang out and not consume as much fodder. Trees will grow back on their own naturally, as well as grass. Puddles will naturally come back. So you don't have to keep replanting stuff all the time. In comparison to a game like Animal Crossing, one of my gripes with that game is that it feels like there isn't much to do from day to day. And with Animal Crossing, there's a lot of you have to just wait. I don't like waiting that much. I get that it's meant to be that way, but I'm still sharing with you what I think of that. Now, in this game here, you can also, which I was going to say, which is hard for me to play the game while I'm trying to give you a new review on it. Getting happier there. I could tear down that cow shed, barn, whatever you want to call it, at any time. It'll just drop it in my pocket, because that's how magical this is. And I can place it wherever I want. So that's the other thing I wanted to show you, was just the size of your farm here. Let's kind of give you a scope of the farm. This is your first section, that's your first mine. I decided to put these makers here. You can notice how loud they are when you get close to them. What I really appreciate is when you walk away from them, how quickly the sound drops off. Now you can still enjoy your game, so I could chop down this tree here. I'll show off with my silver axe, taking out that tree in one swing. You don't hear the sound until you get really close to it. That's a piece of detail that I really appreciate, You can build your own storage boxes so that you can dump a bunch of stuff into them. I don't know too many games sometimes that allow you to do this. I know that, again, in Animal Crossing, you're not quite given that level of freedom to store a bunch of stuff, at least as far as I know. I've never really gotten too far in there. You can go and swim. The swimming is fairly fun, I have to admit. You just kind of wait for the exclamation mark to pop up. You don't have to look for a fish to be somewhere like an Animal Crossing. See, now you just hold the button. Oh, it went red. You let go. You pay attention to that bar on the left. And as soon as your fish hits the top before the hook hits the bottom, you got your fish. And it can actually still be challenging a little bit. And it's still fun. I also feel like I can get a lot done in my day. And I can never get everything done that I wanted to do. Things like Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing, as much as I absolutely adore those games, I also kind of feel like I can't get much progress done before I have to already go to bed. As you can see here, I'm picking up stuff, I'm chopping down a bunch of trees, but if you look at my hearts at the top left, I'm still in pretty good shape. Making food as well is not that incredibly difficult when you cook. Those can give you a lot of energy. There's your second cave. I'm just kind of running around the map here as well to kind of show you the scale of your farm, of everywhere that you can go. And to me, it's quite massive in scale, and I know with the likes of Harvest Moon One World, I don't know how big the game is, but I've watched it a little bit, and it does feel very lifeless when you're walking around. There's just not much, going on. Here's the newer section that I've unlocked. We've got a horse that we can try to tame, but again, we can't do that because you'll get these random things here that are dilapidated. Oh, it looks dated all right, and then it'll just show you what you need to build it. And then again, you can pick that up after it's built, place it where you want. Every time you go to a new island, you'll get different types of grass. So at first, it helps if I hit it. At first, you get normal grass. Now we're getting tough grass. Then there's flexible grass. So there's all these different kinds of woods as well within them. All these random little things here, rotted beehive. It'll tell you what it is before you even build it. The amount of space in your bags isn't really too bad for how much time it'll take for you to unlock it. So you first start off with 2 rows. To get the 3rd row, it's like 3,000 gold. You can actually do that on day 1 because that's how much gold you have. So if you wanted to, you can run right into town and automatically do that. 15,000 gold, I believe, is how much it costs to unlock the 4th one. There's no real time gating. You can pretty much go ahead and do that. As you level up your fishing, your mining, the more you chop and do stuff, the more efficient you become at it and the less energy you consume. Look at all these recipes that I have already from just playing the game. These just naturally happen from playing and discovering the game, building all these different types of containers, changing the colors. The makers, I have to admit, are a little bit annoying. You can only place 20 at a time. I think it's of each set. It could be a little bit like, because they take up a lot of room. But I get it. Then you've got, your relationships. From what you can see, I'm just very antisocial. We're not doing too well there. You got your calendar. You got certain little events. And then you've got your map of the town. I wish it showed you, and maybe it does later, I don't know, a map of your place, your farm. But here it'll even show you, the schedule. Oh, I wanted to go to the animal shop and buy another pet. Oh, we can't do that. It's Tuesday. Oh, wait, it's Saturday. They're closed on Tuesday. So then you can prepare and go for that. I'm just going to kind of show you here as I'm picking up some flowers. There's little sprites that you can discover as you forage through the forest, if that's the proper word. If I can actually hit something here. You'll see these little bonums kind of run off into the distance. Our bags are full. Whatever. I built this bridge. This is where you start to get gold. Now, it's taken a while for me to break this because this is a higher tier. Remember, every time you go to a new area, it becomes a higher tier. So now if I build a gold hammer, naturally, I'm going to be destroying these a lot quicker as well. The mines are procedurally generated. They're pretty interesting. I'll just kind of hop into one really quick, just so I can show you what it looks like. See, that loading time wasn't too bad. See, you go in here. Sometimes there's little enemies. They don't really do much. but then you gotta bonk them in the head, or they can just, they just waste your time. This one is hard to beat. Usually it's one bonk on the head and they're gone, but this is a higher level area. And this is what it looks like. And then you just keep going down, till you reach the bottom, hoping to find better treasure. When you're done and you're ready to leave, you just click on the on your ladder. It won't bring you back up to the next floor. So when you go down, make sure that you cleared everything from the prior level, because as soon as you click on the ladder, as I said, it just brings you right out. So there's just, like I said, so much stuff to do. Now I'm going to go into town, because, I'm kind of showing you the performance of the game. There is a little bit of a, of a performance issue where it doesn't always run the smoothest. Again, I wanted to show you the other part of my farm there, all this area. I mean, I haven't really built much. There's even this area here. I don't even know how you get orchid cum ingot or whatever. A suction pump and an olive crystal. That's feels like it's more endgame stuff. I know nothing about that. Pick up all these flowers. When you pick up new flowers, new seeds or whatever, and you put them in the shipment bin for the first time, they'll end up in your store later. You can see a little bit of a frame rate stutter there. But I'm still enjoying the game a lot. I mean, this isn't like Call of Duty, and I don't find it overly too jarring as well. I do find it a little bit annoying. I'm not going to deny that. Bear with me here. Some of these magical flowers you want to keep for later. I just love how everything just comes back to life. You don't really have to plant anything. Pink cat, yeah, we'll put some of those flowers away. Still got plenty of time. The light will go yellow, as you can see here, when it's ready to be picked up. So now we can put... And we'll do solid log. We do need some of those. There's a timer on it, depending on the type of wood material that you're putting in. It'll either be 4 hours, 2 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours. The higher the tier of wood, the longer it takes to process. That's why you might want to build a lot of these at some point. Go ahead and put some... Yeah, we'll do some silver ore. Why not? You can never have too many ingots. We'll do that. This is like to make thread, like you put grass in here, and it'll make a certain type of material. Then you could put the thread in here, it'll turn it into a type of cloth, and all that fun stuff. This is your shipment bin, which is very reminiscent to a lot of games like your Stardew Valleys and I believe Harvest Moon. Haven't played those in a while, so you can just go ahead and sell whatever it is you want. Certain things people will recommend you don't sell right away. I just want to kind of get rid of a lot of this stuff here. You can upgrade your house. You first start with a tent. You can have a pet. You can take him for a walk if you... Oh my goodness, if you put the leash on him. Although he's a little bit broken. He kind of gets stuck into a lot of things. But it's pretty cool to have these pets. Sprites... I told you, when you forage through the game, you'll see these little bibits, these little bunums running around. And once you uncover a lock of him, he'll show up and you can go to another magical place. Go to Earth Sprite Village. I don't really know the purpose behind this. I'm not going to pretend like I know. Remember, Noob first impression review. I don't really know what the point is. I have something for you. A larger variety of sprite spoils can now be obtained. I think they help you along your journey. Wow, that's an interesting colored cow. Because in the game, I only saw the white and black ones, like the traditional ones. So this is just like a, Do you have any sprite coins I can exchange for coins for items here? If you'd like to release an animal, worry not, we will take good care of them here. Oh, you can release an animal. That's interesting. So if you're done with one of your pets... Okay. So that's what it is. If you get sprite coins at the top right there from doing some stuff, you can buy certain items that you've already discovered in your world, I believe. Or maybe things you've never seen before, like these things. I don't think I've ever seen Mum in my game. I don't know how happy most people would be to see their mum in their game for sale. That's just wrong. He's selling my mum for 50 sprite coins. Can I just pick this up? Can I steal this? No. Oh, wow, it's someone's farm. I can't walk up there. There's like an invisible something. Alright, so that's not very helpful. Go back to my farm. Now I'll show you the town. And that'll be pretty much it. Again, it's very vague, but I'm just having so much fun. I can never finish everything I want to do before the day is done. And I just don't feel like Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing offer that. Either there's not enough stuff to do or not enough energy to do the stuff I wanted to do for the day. And I just feel like in here, I can just keep playing forever. There's no real gating kind of thing. And then these can happen. Good to have you with us, Moros. Today's our annual pet derby. I'm going to kind of skip through that. Because I already know about it. Yeah, there's a pet derby I'm trying to record. I'm just trying to show you the loading time, which is pretty good. Owners compete in races. Yeah, that's fantastic. So you could buy pets in here. You can buy seeds in there. You know, you can examine... Oh, general store closed on Tuesdays. They close at 6 o'clock. You know, this is where you could buy tools, upgrade your bags, rather, and buy farm stuff. This is where you can upgrade your tools. From, like, wood to iron to silver, gold, etc. This is where you can download your DLC outfits and anything that you bought, or if you want to make new outfits for your game. Actually, you can't enter the building on a festival, son of a pineapple. I have a new outfit that I wanted to show you, but there's a pet derby going on. So I can't do that. See how the performance is dropping a little bit there? There's a lot of NPCs. That doesn't quite happen that often. Okay, so we just can't go into anything. Anyways, that's the museum. You can donate some stuff that you find similar to Animal Crossing, and you can have it appraised and all that. When you go into the Olive Town Hall here, there's going to be a bunch of titles that you can redeem, like, oh, you picked up 50 grass or grew 50 strawberries. They're all like they're almost like Nook points reward things, right? Where you do certain tasks and it just automatically gives you all these rewards, and you can grab those coins and sell them in the shipment bin. But of course, I can't show you that there because there's a pet derby going on. Can't wait for that to be over. But yeah, it's just really nice. And the town, there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of people everywhere. Well, I mean, not over here now because they're all gathered at the center square, or whatever it's called. But this game feels more alive to me than One World from what I've seen of the new Harvest Moon. You know, there's that whole Harvest Moon versus Story of Seasons. The festival, well, I don't care. You know, and to me, from what I've seen of Harvest Moon in recent history of the One World game, and now this game, hands-on, I think, you know, and naturally this is going to be subjective, but I truly believe that Story of Seasons is a superior game. It's not a perfect game. I mean, is anything really perfect? There's always going to be things that people can complain about, that they're not happy with. Me, it's the performance. If there was any negatives I really had to nitpick about, it's the performance is pretty subpar sometimes, you know? with the frame rate feeling a little bit more like 24, 25 frames per second. I mean, Zelda Breath of the Wild runs better, so it's not like the Switch is incapable of powering this game. You know what I mean? It can do it. It's an optimization thing. They're working on it. They want to make some big improvements to it, and I trust them. You know what I mean? I do trust them. So, the performance being a little jarring at times, I'm not going to lie. It is a little bit annoying. And if I want to go and say water a crop manually, which I don't need to do now, let's say I want that one, like, right there. I feel like sometimes, do you know what I mean? Like, kind of getting it perfect is a little bit annoying. If I want to chop down this tree specifically. Okay, well, maybe I'm getting used to the controls. They feel not floaty, but like, you know, you gotta be very specific. You know what I mean? Stardew Valley, I find the controls to be smoother. I gotta be honest. I find them smoother. Again, not see? I don't want to cut there. I want to cut here. It just little fine detail. Not enough to make me go, you know, screw this game. But it's, I wish there was a sensitivity thing. I wish it wasn't as sensitive. See, I seem to be able to line up there pretty decent. See, again, you could turn the camera a little bit to kind of make sure you're lined up. And then, essentially, whack. It's very easy to get some of the older wood once you've upgraded your tools, so it makes farming up some of the old stuff much easier. So the controls a bit... When it comes to fine-tuning, you might have to click it a couple of times to be right on what you want to do. And the performance not being the best. Again, those are my two biggest pet peeves. But not enough to deter me from regretting having bought the game or from wanting to play the game. I am very, very happy I purchased the game. I was a little bit worried at first, especially watching pre-1.03 gameplay. There's no denying that it had made me a little bit worried. But I'm a lot more confident now. Well, it's too late now, because, I mean, I've bought the game. But, yeah. This is definitely a game that I do actually recommend. There's a lot of games that I've been playing lately. Again, I like them. I enjoy them. But it's hard for me to sometimes recommend them. If you don't mind that little fine tuning, you know, again, you can cook. You get all these recipes the more you discover stuff. And then it'll even show you the stuff you've already made before, the stuff that you haven't made yet. I don't think things can spoil, but I've had this stuff in here for a long time in the fridge. All this food and ingredients, I don't recall any of it going bad, which is why I did that. It's been in here for like a week. I don't know if it deteriorates. I don't know if it's just an extra spot for you to be able to put food-related stuff in the fridge, sort of like as extra storage. But I've also had food sit around in the regular bin. It didn't seem to go bad either, except what was bad about it was taking up room. Because it can be kind of easy to start running out of room fairly quickly. But like I said, storage is not as big of a deal. What I don't like about the customization of your home, in closing... Watch this. Helps if I can find the table. So watch, as I'm walking around, check this out. First of all, your dog gets stuck all the time. I shared that with you. Okay, seriously, what just happened there? See the table? See what highlighted? That's the only 4 spots you're able to put your item on. So very limited customization when it comes to that. When I purchased this mirror, again, as soon as you highlight on the mirror, it shows you the one of only 2 places you could place the mirror. So if you wanted it here, forget it. So that's a little bit of a bummer. Maybe that's a third thing that I don't like, because Animal Crossing has better home design and all that. Again, I don't know if this opens up later. I don't know. Once you get your cabin, which is pretty easy, you can change your clothes here. And this is what it would technically look like. If you want to look like a buffalo. I think that was the pre-order DLC. But that's where it would be. And that's pretty much it. So if you liked the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. It really helps support the channel with the algorithm and making me more relevant in the search results, and people are looking shit up on the internet. If you didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll make sure when you wake up tomorrow morning, that's what you look like. But it's not a costume. You're stuck looking like that forever. But if you want to subscribe to the channel, maybe we can work something out. Make you look like this. Kind of has the Michael Jackson, if he ever joined the army. If Michael Jackson ever joined the military, that's what he would have looked like right there. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. And I'm so tired, I'm sorry. If there's anything specific, you see how easily your pet gets stuck? I'm sure they'll fix that, and it's the pathing issue with the dogs. Maybe the cats, too. If you have any questions, ask me down below. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'll have the answer. But if I have a moment, maybe I can try and figure out your question so that I can have an answer for you. So I can seem semi-useful. There's the stuff that we sold for the day. See, now the general store has expanded its product lineup, as well as the grocery store because of some of the new stuff that I've sent in the bin. First time you do that for each new item. And anyhow, maybe I shall see some of you in the next video. Bye for now. But last thing, you can have multiple saves if that matters to you. You can only have one autosave, but you can have 10 saves. Thought that might be interesting to note because, you know, Animal Crossing, you can only have one, right? Anyhow, bye for now.